Hey, good morning. Yes, it is. It's Wednesday, March 13th. We got our coffee ready to go this morning. Are you guys used to new time yet? I'm not. The dogs aren't. You ought to leave that time zone thing alone so that it just stays the same time year round. Daylight savings times, I should say. So, a quick note on. You were saying, Pete, with the cut and wrap. Yeah, I figured that in. We charge $4 a pound, and the kill, cut and wrap, all that is figured in at the cost of $4 a pound. And it is a lot better meat, and you know what's in it. Ours are all grass-fed. So I thought today we would talk about when is it a good time to start a business, a relationship, whatever it is that you're thinking about doing. Stick around. Alright, so welcome back. My name is Eric. And if you don't know, this is the weekday show, Monday through Friday. And we do a couple of videos usually over the weekend, a couple of repair videos. You get everything from self-help to how to fix something. Where else can you get that, folks? So I thought today we'd talk about, or at least talk a little bit about, I get asked this question a lot, is when is the best time to start a business? When is a good time to make a relationship better? When is it a good time to even get into a relationship? You know, the list can go on and on. But the best time is right now. And if you ask me that in a month, I'm going to tell you, right now. Because what ends up happening is we are our own worst enemies when it comes to achieving things that we want. I mean, I can remember when I was a youngster and stuff. And I'm trying to think of what class it was. It was like a social thing in high school. Home ec. There we go. Home economics. I took that just to be around the girls, by the way. But then I loved cooking and doing all that kind of stuff. You know, all the guys thought I was crazy until they said, no, he's not as crazy as you think he is. He's a smart cookie. And I got cookies out of it. Top that off. But some of the things that they were teaching in that class was, when is it a good time to start a family? And a good time to start a family was, you get out of high school, you go to college, you both get jobs, steady incomes, get your house, your vehicle, self-sufficient, and then you think about having kids. Well, if that was the case for many of us, we'd have been 50 years old. And the last thing I want at 70 is somebody getting out of high school. I'm already a grandfather 7 times over, could be a great-grandfather by the end of the year. You never know. Because I got 2 granddaughters that are 19 and 21. I mean, I didn't follow the norm. And the norm was kind of, this is how you're supposed to do it the proper way. And people will teach you that in business too, the proper way to start a business. And what you need to have to succeed. And what I can tell you is what you need to succeed is you in the game. It's not sitting back waiting for that optimistic right time to do anything. Because the right time to do it is to do it now. And I'm not saying jump in, in over your head if you can't swim. But you can sure as heck be planning your steps of teaching yourself how to swim first. It's all about goal setting and knowing what the end result is that you want. And that can change at times, but you need a good starting end result when you first start this. And that is, where do I want to end up? And that could be, I want to have a relationship and settle down. I'm tired of being a, footloose, crazy person. But in order to do that, I know some of you guys are going to say, no. You have to get out of the bars. I don't know of too many people that have found their ideal partner in a bar. I know that of people that had ideal partners back and forth that were at the bar together, but hooking up with someone at the bar is not someone that, I'm not saying there aren't exceptions, but he just isn't one of the persons that I would think would be high on my list of raising kids and putting into mother role or a father role of closing the bar down at 2 a.m. So you have to change and adapt and goal set. These are things that I have to straighten out before I find that to be achievable, right? And a lot of things people will say, well, I don't have the money right now to do it. All right, find it. Find where you need that money. What's out there? What's available? Use other people's money. If you are truly invested in that thing that you want, then there's nothing wrong with using somebody else's money. We use it all the time. If we go to the bank and we borrow money for a home, we're using other people's money. We're paying them back with interest, but we're using other people's money. It doesn't belong to the bank. Most banks have people with savings accounts that have deposits, and they're using the deposits for the loans. And they're making money while the money sits there. And they give the depositors a little bit of a stipend for using their money. Especially when they were getting money from the feds for 0% and charging us 4 to 5. We're making good money. So you have to find out, what do you need to have to succeed? And a lot of times, if you don't have those skill sets, how can you get the skill sets? What I found is, if you don't have the money, then you better have time to learn. And if you're trying to start a business, you're going to be wearing more than one hat in the beginning until people believe in what you're doing. And people will ask me, how big should I get? That's up to you. Whatever is to you is manageable. Bigger is not always better. It's not, folks. Now, if you want something to be, worldwide, then that's your prerogative. Whereas if you're just looking for a way to have a steady income, raise a good family, that's a good prerogative too. For each of us, it's going to be a different thought process on how we go about it. But the biggest thing that I find with most people is they put things off, waiting for the optimal time. And then they get to the age of where it's just not feasible anymore. See, most of us know as we get older, what I've learned anyways, is when you get older, you have to use this more and this less, okay? Simple. Simple math. You're not Popeye anymore. You're Grandpa. So depending on what it is that you're setting out to accomplish, can you be a marathon runner at 50 or 60? Absolutely. But I guarantee you, those guys that are doing the marathon at 50 or 60 are running every day, or at least once a week. If I decided I'm going to do the marathon this year up in Boston, I wouldn't get a mile. They'd have to have a rescue squad pick me up and take me to the hospital for dehydration and overexertion. But why would that happen? You just said I could be running a marathon. I said you can if you prepare yourself for it. Anything is possible, but you have to have steps in order to accomplish them. And that's one of the biggest reasons that I see most people fail and give up is they don't plan well. Now, I've got friends, I did it myself numerous times, flying by the seat of your ass and getting ahead. But I was running a lot, and I was holding 3 jobs to try to get ahead. Where what I'm suggesting is to have one job, have a good family, and still get ahead because you thought this out. The first thing I would suggest to anybody, whether it's starting a business, having a better relationship, having a better anything, is to sit down with your thoughts. Find a quiet room and then take a pen and paper, pencil and paper, and just start writing down all your thoughts as they come, the words and this and that. And throw in, what would I like to accomplish? How would I like to accomplish it? And then, if it's a business decision on what should I start for a business, you want a business that not necessarily isn't a popular one, but one that isn't already saturated. And before you say it, yes, I know, you can start a business in a saturated market and still make it by doing it differently than what everybody else is doing it. Absolutely. But you run a higher risk of not being able to accomplish that task if you're being unrealistic, and the amount of time it's going to take to get into that market. The ones that do best when it comes to business are the ones that identify a need. What need out there is not being met? What are people wanting most that they're getting less of? When it comes to the repair shop, is it the old school mechanic that visits with you and tells you stories? Is it the nurse that took care of you while you were in the hospital, or maybe at home, a visiting nurse? Just look around. A lot of times you can create work, a job, by just filling that need of what people need that others in the area aren't doing well at it, at fulfilling that need. See, that's the whole thing about business and about life, is the way to succeed is to find something that nobody else is doing or they're not doing well, and do well at it. And be honest with yourself, with your customer, with whoever. I'm not saying you have to spill your beans to your competitors on exactly how you're doing it. No, not even close. But honesty goes a long ways in business. I know. Some of the professors I had were one of the most dishonest people you ever had. One to the point of claiming he ran this large corporation and he never had anything more than a tenure at a college. Did he accomplish something? Yes, he became a college professor. But he had no practical experience. He could only go by what the books and what he watched in the stock market. That didn't make you a businessman. That made you a teacher. And what I found in taking a number of those business courses in college, they were worthless. The best course I ever had in business was a guy with Bosch and Lomb, and he told it just like it was, and reality, and how business isn't always your bed of roses. Sometimes you have to do hard things, tough choices. That's just the way it is. You have to do what's best for the business. If the business doesn't succeed, then the employees won't have work. So for some of them, they had to downsize, or they went to China, Well, going back to the beginning, when is the best time to do X, Y, or Z? Today. Start today. Start your planning stage. And don't get stuck staying in the planning stage. Have set goals that you want to accomplish by a certain time. And if you don't accomplish them by a certain time, you're not deemed a failure. It just means it was either harder than what you thought it was going to be to accomplish that goal, or you had to learn how to accomplish that goal, if that makes any sense. Relationships are the same way. If you never say hi to her and tell her how beautiful she is and be honest with her, how will you ever have a relationship with her? You think relationships just start by people walking by each other? No. But you have to have a clear mind, a clear expectation of what it is you want out of a partner. And each of us are going to be a little different again. But I want an equal. I want someone that can, when I'm down, they're up, and when they're down, I'm up. That we can help each other out. I want someone that can do dual purpose parenting, that it isn't just her job to take care of the kids, it's our job. I want someone that is self-confident, knows who she is, and likes it when you do nice things for her. She appreciates it. See, those are all things that I would look for in an ideal partner. And those are certain things that I would need to be able to do to have the ideal partner, is to start a relationship of talking, being honest, and don't be afraid to compliment somebody if it's a true compliment. Don't tell somebody they're beautiful if you think they're ugly. except a baby. You always got to say, oh, the baby is so cute. I've seen some ugly babies in my time. It turned out to be 10, so I'm going to start wrapping this up. When is a good time to do anything? Today. Don't procrastinate. Don't put it off. If you have been wanting to do something, accomplish something, start today, folks. You don't have to wait until certain things trigger to become optimal. I have enough money. I have this. I have that. I've always said, for me anyways, and maybe it's different for you because we're all different, I do best when I had nothing to lose. When you have nothing to lose and all to gain, the only way is up, folks. You're not worrying so much at failing because you're already at the lowest point, right? So you're striving upwards. You're not thinking about going backwards. You're thinking about going forwards. But as we have families and jobs and stuff like that, we start getting into that mindset of we're afraid to lose what we have, right? If we try to get ahead. And I'm saying that's not the case. If you want to start a business right now, and you have a family, a good partner, he or she does need to be on board with you and believe in you. And a good partner would. And a good partner would tell you you're full of crap too if you're full of crap on asinine ideas that could be detrimental to you or the family. But for the most part, good partners are very supportive in what you want to try and what you want to accomplish. And I tell you, it's a heck of a lot easier with two of you than it is one trying to pull it off, because you have somebody that's coming in from a outside view looking in that, isn't skewed yet. They can give you honest answers to those questions that you have. So on that note, you guys have a great Thursday. Don't put off today what you can do tomorrow or however that goes. Do it today. Start today, at least the planning stage. And do the steps. All right, guys.